Hey guys, it's Matthew Greenwood once again on a Wednesday night for Fireside Chat. Interesting things have been happening. So we did have, you've probably noticed with the posts, we did have something around spirit guides that was going to be happening, but we've changed it because there's been so many people that have been having difficulty with what's been going on energetically, spiritually, you name it, physically, mentally, all the things that we're getting hit with. So I wanted to spend more time on talking about how we can keep that balance, find that balance. But look, before we get to that, I'd just like to remind everyone, don't forget to tell your friends. So if you've got anyone tonight that you know that would be interested in how to hold your space spiritually, how to keep grounded, how to not get stressed out by everything that's going on around us, because this ain't going to stop. It's just going to get thicker. We need to learn how to manage our energy better. So I'm here to help you with that tonight and ongoing, of course. So remember tonight also, please ask lots of questions because that then gives you a chance to win a spirit guide reading. And speaking of which, tonight's winner is someone, I believe, up in Brisbane called Kerry Robinson. Hey, Kerry, we're going to get on to you. We'll let you know that you've won that. And we'll be, if you can give me a call or send me a message, we'll make arrangements to get a session happening. Wow, I've got lots of names already. Here's Kylie, Anita, Myra, Tracy, Jackie Crafter, Mary Waters, hey Mary, Paulette Wallace, Ann Doyle, G'day Gail, Josephine Ann, Emma Oliver, hey Emma, Joanne Watt, Tanya Jennings, Kerry Demall, Jasmine De Caterina, hey Jasmine, Karen Parsons, Christina Maidment, Josephine Ann, wow, look at all the people, Kathy Paris Wendell, hey Kathy, Alison Barford, Dub Dub, Mariska is here also. Hey guys. All right. So one thing I wanted to add too, which I'm always remiss at doing this. Oh, g'day Hayden. Is I just want to give a big thanks to Adair Palmer, who is on the behind the scenes, sorting me out with all the technical stuff. I don't give her anything like the amount of acknowledgement I should do. And thanks to her partner Nige too, because I know he helps out also. Big thanks to both you guys. All right, so before we get into the conversation tonight, let's do a grounding exercise. So this is that grounding exercise that I always talk about, which is here to help you guys keep balance, to maintain your level of grounding, to help maintain your level of grounding. And it's just a great way to get yourself back on the earth. So here we go. So everyone out there, if you would like to just find yourself in a nice relaxed seat somewhere. It isn't going to go for long, maybe about 5-10 minutes. And hey, Petra. So to start with, nice deep breaths. So nice deep, full, long breaths in and out. And if you can, make it about 4 seconds in and 4 seconds out, whatever works for you, but roughly about that. Knowing that those deep breaths in are literally not just pulling in oxygen, they're pulling in life force. When you take a conscious breath like this, it helps you to draw in nice, clean life force. Because a lot of people don't know this, we need life force to survive. We can't do without it. It's not just about air and water. So just imagine, visualize that deep breath you're taking in is pulling nice, clean energy into your whole energy system. energy from, you're breathing in energy from all around you. And you can classify that as the universe, so above Earth. When you do things like grounding, you begin to pull in energy from the Earth as well, which we need both. We actually need to have both. Okay, so those nice full breaths in, taking in life force. What we're going to do now is be a little bit more purposeful. So taking a nice deep breath in this time, pulling that life force in with the breath out. I'd like you to push that energy down through your body, your base chakra, your legs, your feet, and down into the earth. Generally, half a dozen breaths will connect you on that base chakra level. But just keep that same visualization happening, same pattern of breathing. It's the visualization or your imagination that actually gives it the punch, that actually makes it really directive and works strongly. A couple more nice deep breaths in, pulling that life force in with the breath out, pushing it down through your body, base chakra, legs, feet, and down into the earth. All right, so now that you've got that one, we are going to go deeper as we can, because we've got a multitude of chakras below the base chakra, below the soles of the feet. There are chakras there too. What we're going to do now is go right down to the deepest one, which is right at the core of the earth. Don't worry about distance. It's a long way down there, but energy moves instantly. All you need to do is let the mind get out the way, and it will go very fast. So taking another nice, deep, full breath in, pulling that life force in, this time with the breath out. Drive that energy right down to the core of the earth. Really connect with that earth chakra. And so again, repetitively, keep that pattern going until you feel a connection to that chakra. Generally, it's something like a sense of peace or slowing down or even tingling around your aura, a bit of effervescence in your energy system. Cool, guys. That's great. Maybe just another breath doing that. Taking that nice full one in, driving it right down to the earth chakra, right down at the core of the earth. This is our deepest connection with the earth. So now just let that relax. That's just flowing on automatic. You don't even have to think about it now. So from here, what we're going to do is raise our frequency using what's called our core star energy, which is inside us. So what it is, literally, is the God force within us. So whatever your perceptions on God, Great Spirit, Creator are, universe, it's not just outside of us, it's inside of us. So we're going to access that energy now. So bringing your awareness to the center of your body, your physical body to start with. When you can roughly sense where the center of your body is, now just imagine there's a big diving board there, and you can dive off that central point within your body and just keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper into your energy system, which is beyond three-dimensional space. Right at the core of that universe inside you is a light, a high vibrational energy source, which is that God force. And technically, it's called your core star energy. So as you connect with that, as you feel it, see it, or sense it, what I'd like you to do is begin to expand that out. All it takes is an intention to work with that. So expanding it out, feel it rushing up from within your core, the core of your being, rushing up and to start with filling your physical body with light, imagining every cell in your body is being touched by that light. And even if you could look at all of those cells under a microscope, each cell would be beginning to vibrate at a high frequency because you're literally pulling that light up into every part of your physical body. It does wonderful things for your physical. Also for your mental awareness, emotional awareness, and spiritual awareness. Okay, now expanding it out a bit further beyond your physical, because the physical is the densest part of our energy system. Now expanding out to approximately 3 to 4 meters out in all directions around you, up, down, left, right, front, back. So this space that you're expanding that light out into is out into the 9th energy body. So we have more than 7. We've got a multitude of energy bodies, or as a lot of the books say, layers in the aura. They're actually not layers, but that's another night. Talk about that one. It's a whole energy body, just of a different frequency. But all of those 9 energy bodies that you're expanding that light out to are getting the connection to this. The first 7 relate to the human experience here on Earth. Those next 2 relate to your DNA connection to our galactic family that is all around us now, watching over us. All right. Now what I want you to do is let it explode in about 3 seconds. I'll count it through. 1, 2, and 3. Just let it go. That's it. Beautiful. I love it when everyone does that. Very cool. Okay, so you can do that anytime. Hold your space just for a sec. You don't need to pull this light in. There's some really old teachings that are very outdated. And some of those teachings say that we should put a cloak over our energy at night. We shouldn't open our aura unless we're doing spiritual work. Got to say, guys, that's really old-fashioned. Never worked before, and it doesn't work now. So this light raises your frequency to keep you, well, let's use the word protected at night before you go to sleep. It keeps your energy at a higher frequency, so thoughts from other people, negative thoughts from other people can't get into your space. Also, projected energy from wherever it's coming from, and we'll talk about this stuff in a minute, that can be affecting our energy system and affecting our sleep. So you can still keep that light expanded. The whole idea of this exercise that you've just done is to do it more than once a week. You need to be doing it at least twice a day. And what this does, the more you do it, it keeps that energy up. You don't have to, it's not like pulling teeth every time you do this exercise. If you do it a couple of times a day, then it's going to make your energy much higher frequency and much more grounded permanently. So, hey Anne, how you going? And Anita. Cool, guys. All right. So let's go back to the beginning and let's reground your energy. So just taking a couple of nice deep breaths in, pulling that life force in from all around you, and then with the breath breath out, push that life force down through your body, base chakra, legs, feet, and down into the earth again. And just gently ground your energy. If I don't get you to ground your energy, you're going to be out there enjoying that light, and I won't get any questions from you. So it's important we have some interaction too. Hey, Sharon. All right, let's go. So that grounding exercise is really important for where we're going with this. Now, for those who haven't heard, we're kind of tweaking the talk tonight. We are going to get a little bit of a conversation in about guides, but probably not as much as we were going to, because I've been getting so much feedback from people that have been having trouble with what's going on energetically at the moment. This last 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks, probably more like 6 weeks, has been incredibly potent. As the full moons come in also, they're incredibly potent too. But there's more. So I did talk about this a few weeks ago, but we're going to go through it in a bit more detail. So what I want to be able to see is you guys actually not being scared of what's going on, because these changes in frequency are affecting our energy system, but we can stabilize this. We have the ability to stabilize these changes that are going on within our bodies and within our energy system. So can't guarantee it's going to be perfect, but I can certainly guarantee that if you do this grounding exercise a few times a day, plus a few other things, which aren't going to cost you a cent, it's just about changing some old ways. That's all. All right. So we've talked about that grounding exercise. I've been working on, now I've got to tell you, I've been doing spiritual work for 32 years. I've been working in all of that time, since I've been actually helping people, I've realized right from the beginning that people need to be more grounded if they want to get the best out of their spiritual abilities. But it's gone way beyond that now, because we're getting knocked silly with a whole lot of different things that have been happening to us, some purposely, some not purposely, but in the end, it's all still affecting us. So this grounding exercise, I've got to tell you, is the quickest, and if you work with it and do it at least twice a day, it is going to help and improve your energy system to the point where you won't be blown out by all of these changes that are going on. All right, so now all of this that I'm going to be talking about, I talk about in my level 1 workshops. And probably I'm going to be talking about some things a little bit more than what I talk about in level 1, because we're talking about specific stuff. So it's about looking at how can we manage our energy system better. No one tells you this stuff. You know, in all the time I've been doing this work, I haven't heard of anyone. It's all like new news to people when they come and do level 1 shamanism with me, because not too many people actually talk about these things that I'm sharing with you tonight. So you got to break us down into 4 aspects. There's probably 5, but at the moment 4 is important. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Once you can get those 4 under wraps, then we can talk about galactic, but we might leave that for another night, because that's an evening in itself, because of all of the changes that are going on a DNA and also on an energy level for us. But let's leave that maybe for next week. I think that's probably a good idea. So let's start with the physical body. Some really basic stuff. A bit of exercise, just going walking, eating the right foods. Now, this is a loaded statement, this one. So there's health foods and there's health foods. Number 1, highly suggest that you get the Eat Right for Your Blood Type book. It's a book written back in the 70s, I reckon it was, and it specializes in looking at the dietary needs for each blood type. And what we can also say about this is beyond that, let's take it back to the blood type for a sec. Each blood type has particular needs. So each blood types react to certain foods, and they can be good foods, what's classified as health foods. So highly suggest you get that book. The one major book has all of the blood types in it. There's 4 major blood types. So number one, most people don't seem to know their blood type, which is fair enough. I didn't before I started getting into all of this. So I highly suggest you find out your blood type. But the other thing that's going on now also is I should say, there's been a raising in frequency for about the last 12 to 14 years. And what's happening is, as this frequency raises all around us, it has to affect us. It changes our energy system, and our frequency rises too. Now, what naturally occurs, which I've been hearing left, right, and center, but it's actually hit me too, is on a good level. Look, my blood type is an O. O's are meant to be the carnivores, the meat eaters. And what's been happening for me is I can't eat, I won't say I can't eat red meat, but I'm only eating game meat at the moment. So venison and kangaroo. I know some people probably shudder at that, but it's a much more pure meat without fat in it. I cannot eat normal steaks anymore. I cannot eat lamb, and I definitely can't eat pork. But the one thing that threw me a couple of weeks ago, I've just gone off chicken. The central markets have a supplier of game meats down there. So if anyone's in the same situation as me, go down to the central markets or a good butcher, because I know you guys from all over the place. So I'm in Adelaide. So it's really important to listen to what your body needs. Don't keep forcing meat in there if your body is just rejecting it because of habit. You need to honor what your body's needs are. So the other thing is, and if anyone's got the other thing about the frequency changes, it's not just meat that we're getting hit with now as far as the changes our bodies are wanting, but sugar is actually the latest one. Sugar, our bodies, as they raise in frequency, they're basically rejecting anything with sugar in. Haven't quite got there with all of that yet, but it's certainly starting to hit me. So you're going to find this is going to keep getting tweaked as the frequency keeps raising. And I've got to tell you guys, there's another 80 years of this cycle yet. So there's going to be a lot of changes that are occurring from here on. Okay, so that's the foods. So getting a bit of sun every day, or at least as often as you can. It's a bit hard, particularly here in South Australia, or I know Victoria is pretty similar with a lot of rain in winter. But get a little bit of vitamin D when you can. A great one, which isn't hard to do, and it certainly doesn't cost much, maybe a bit of petrol, is to go for a walk in nature on a regular basis. Look, I'm really lucky in the Adelaide Hills. We've got pine forests and natural forests all around the place. And I don't know what I'd do without that, because I'm very much an earth energy. I'm Taurian, and I need that connection to nature. So it just chills me out. And I guarantee if you guys try that too, you'll find you'll get a lot out of that. Just go to, I've got a couple of questions, I think. I love my sugar in my tea, though. Well, there you go. There's actually something you can do besides all the chemical. I've just got to think of the name of the plant. There's a plant you can get that has natural sugar in it, and stevia. That's it. Um, I can guarantee you that if you drop a small leaf of stevia into your tea, what happens is stevia breaks down quite a lot in the actual tea. By the time you've finished your tea, you won't have any leaf left in there. So yeah, it's stevia is a great alternative. And look, years ago, where I was living, there was a stevia plant in the garden, and it was great. Just and it is really sweet, and it's a great alternative. So don't think you need to be taking sugar. Anything processed, guys, has been messed with. So try to keep away from processed foods. Um, so Sally, I went for a drive to the beach today at semaphore and sat there under the sun with my feet dug into the sand. Felt heavenly. Exactly. Um, yeah, look, we can. I was going to talk about that later, but going for a walk along the beach, there's two different energies there that we're working with. So, forest has one sort of energy. Um, it's still nature, yes, and the sand is nature also. But the ocean, when you're walking along a beach, you'll find most people they don't want to walk up in the soft stuff up high from the waterline. They want to walk right down by the waterline. There's a reason for that. The energy of the water extends about 25 to 30 meters beyond where the water washes in. So as a wave's coming in gently, about 30 meters up from that, there's still energy of that wave. So people that are walking along the beach, they don't have to be putting their feet in the water. They're getting the benefit of the energy of the ocean from just walking along in front of that wave. So that's something to remember. But it's great if you can to do both whenever you're able to go to the forest and go to the beach, because the water is very cleansing down at the ocean. So Des saying, I heard that being in the sun helped boost immunity against C19. Okay. Not too sure what C19 is, but I'm sure it is. It's like everything within us. We need a full complement of vitamin intake, natural vitamin intake. So Christina, I haven't eaten red meat for a long while, and not even wanting to eat meat, but doing so till I can find a balance. Can't touch a lot of processed either. Yep, and you're falling right in line with it, Christina. So Roxy, I don't mind natural stevia, but processed stevia doesn't taste the same. No, because it's not. Um, Natural stevia is beautiful. It's actually, I really like it. Um, so Petra, you've got COVID. Is there a question there? Let me know what the question is. It may open a can of worms, but let's go with it anyway. The other thing for the physical body, so besides walking in nature, going down by the beach, is getting a massage. Now, there's a lot of massage therapists out there that are starting, but and I think that's a great idea to get a. Oh, okay. Thanks, Petra. Yeah, there's a lot of things out there, but it's a lot of massage therapists out there. But you've got to go to a massage therapist that suits you. Whether it's a beginner or someone that's been doing massages for forever. Find a massage therapist that is good for you. Preferably, look, my pet hate probably for going to a massage therapist is getting someone that talks all the time. Really, the only words you should hear are please turn over, and when they're done. Because it's your time to relax, and it's not to talk about what's going on at the local shopping centre or anything. Hey Tracy, hello Matthew. Spirit gave me a new grounding exercise 2 weeks ago, creating a cone from the solar plexus to Mother Earth and a cone from the solar plexus to the universe. That sounds good. So you become one giant solar plexus. Oh wow, that's excellent. The message was we have surpassed grounding from the earth, meanings of the base chakra. And look, quite honestly, when you are accessing that breath, you're actually energizing a lot of the chakras. But I can appreciate what you're saying. It actually makes a lot of sense. So that's really cool. And this is something that we have to remember, that things are going to be developing, and people will be getting messages on a very high vibrational level. And this is important to be sharing on venues like this, because this may be something that can really help you in particular, or someone else. My thoughts are, you're doing the right thing, Tracy. This is suiting you now, and we all are different, and we need to find what's going to work for us. As long as it's grounding, it can't be doing you any harm. But remember, our energy system is changing, and we do need to upgrade things as well. So Myra's going, I agree, can't stand chatty masseuse. Yeah, nothing worse. It completely destroys the whole exercise. All right, so that's physical. So let's look at the mental side now. So remember, I said physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So the mental aspect, what can we be doing to support our mental aspect? Stimulating your mind, looking out of the usual stuff, start to look at unusual things, start to ask questions more. If you don't ask questions much, then ask questions to people who may have the answers. Don't just stay blocked. It's important to open your mind to new things. This is how we grow. We're in a huge evolutionary process at the moment, and it's really important that we talk, communicate. We're one big community on this planet, and we have to change this way that we are of staying inward and not communicating with people and not sharing our thoughts. That's what this event is. I do it once a week. Have been doing it since COVID started, and I think it's probably one of the best things that I've been doing for me. But I get great feedback too, that the subjects that I bring up, people really enjoy, and they get a lot of information out of it. So I'm definitely not going to stop that. So it's here for for you guys as well as me. So clearing your head now. What things can you be doing to clear your head? Number one, grounding. I've got to tell you something with the base chakra energy. If the base chakra energy is blocked or is low in vibration, lower than it should be, what happens with the base chakra energy? It's being affected by old emotional baggage and programming that you took on from that emotional baggage. So in the mental outlook, what's happening is the heart tends to shut down and the head tends to stay in control when the base chakra energy is low, because of suppressed energy and emotions that are being kept down. So it's really important to be working on clearing old baggage that is slowing your energy system down. It's like we're very much like a computer, and if you just keep putting software into a computer, what's going to happen? It's just going to get slower and slower and slower to the point where it just stops. Well, we do the same thing. If we've got too much information there that's outdated, that doesn't function, it actually becomes toxic, which a lot of emotional baggage ends up doing if it's there too long. And if we don't look at it, then it affects everything within us, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So it's really important to be doing things to clear that emotional baggage. So doing creative things, just stop looking at Facebook, except on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock in Adelaide time. But don't look at Facebook all the time. You know, we can get so hooked into scrolling what's going on Facebook. So highly suggest reading a book. You know, anything that's creative. You know, I put up a little while ago that I'm building a canoe. You know, I've got the advantage I'm an ex-furniture maker, but you know, you don't have to build a canoe, a 4.8 meter long canoe, to be creative. You can do all kinds of things. You know, there's lots of you go to a hobby shop. There's lots of things you can do there, or you can look online of ways of creating art, or yeah, there's so many things you can be doing to create something. A lot of people are just scared; they don't think they're good enough to do that. But this is where, you know, just give it a go. That's all. Meditation is a great way to clear the mind. Really important to remember that meditation also gets you connected to your guides. Um, so, you know, when you do a meditation, make sure you do some good grounding before you do your meditation, because what that does, if you've got a strong base chakra energy when you've done a meditation, then that ripples up through to your upper chakras. So if your base chakra is strong, the upper chakras will be strong, and you will be able to learn through different techniques in how to connect with your guides. Now, this has also another knock-on effect. Now, your guides are there to help you to reach your potential. I see them, I hear them, and I help people that come to see me to get connected to their guides. Now, something I don't normally guarantee, but with most people, I can help you to connect with your guides and hear them and see them, or at least sense them within 1 to 3 sessions, if that's what you want to focus on. Because if you're doing spiritual work, or if you really want to get connected to your guides, who, like I said, are here to help you to grow, then I can help you to do that. There are ways to do this. And so what this is going to do, the knock-on effect of connecting with your guides, is they can give you advice. They're not going to make you do anything, but they can give you advice on what you can be doing to develop your skills in other areas, and to get the most out of yourself. So, okay, I've just got Anita is saying, definitely having that insight and understanding. Tomorrow's going, a lot of our businesses is through social media. I get that. You know, but a lot of people just keep scrolling down through Facebook, and it can be a little bit addictive. In fact, it can be a lot addictive. Unfortunately, a lot of people just get so hooked into not looking at the things that are necessary to look at, but just keep looking in and gravitating towards the drama of other people's lives. I've got to say, it's like Days of Our Lives if you really want to get pulled into Facebook a lot and social media. If you use it correctly, there's nothing wrong with it. But there's so much negative stuff going on Facebook. You know, it's not one of my favorite mediums to communicate with people. I like doing this stuff. This is great. I enjoy doing this, but as a venue to unload all of your social and emotional baggage, it's not a good thing to do, and definitely not professional. So Adair's saying, I curate my own feed. It's filled with love and with light. Good idea. And it's important to remember that if you're going to go on Facebook, well, do it with honor, with ethics, and but don't go in there to just hear about the drama. You may as well turn Days of Our Lives on, because it's probably pretty similar. Sorry, I say it like it is for me anyway. So, yeah, read a book. find something stimulating to read. A nice good book. The other thing I was going to talk about with social media, or not so much social media, but screens like computers and that kind of thing. Screen radiation has a huge effect on numbing the brain. It's been proven to do that. It keeps you emotionally and mentally disconnected. It keeps you stressed and it keeps you ungrounded. Now, I think most of you guys know that I've got a pretty strong connection with a group of galactic beings that's growing all the time. And the information they've given me is pretty clear, and we should be, on a whole, if we can limit it to about 10%, 5 to 10% of our day to be in front of a screen. I know that's not possible with some people, but we should be 1.5 meters from anything with a screen, anything that's connected to the internet, because even 4G has a huge effect on our brainwaves. But 5G is frying them, and it's really important. You can get little symbols that are esoteric symbols. There's also crystals you can use near your computer screen, and sacred geometry symbols are very good too. There's quite a few of those sort of things on the market. So do some research, at least minimize the effect of screens on you, which will be a whole lot better for you. We've got Karen here. I've just had to go to Melbourne for Brother's Celebration of Life, which brought up a lot of old emotional baggage and family crap. Your grounding helped me heaps. Lucky I was in Warrandyte, which is so beautiful, which helped when I got home brain, was bringing up lots of old stuff. Struggled with that until I offloaded, felt better than the grounding exercise. Thank you. Oh, look, my pleasure, Karen. It works. You've just got to stick to it and know that you can draw on that anytime. So Karen's just saying shungite. Yes, shungite is good, but what I would ask you to do is don't rely on tools. The crystals are great, but ultimately at the end of the line, there's just you. So you need to be able to be doing things without the aid of anything else other than what you have inside you. So this is why I put that grounding exercise together, because if you don't have your drum, you don't have your rattle, you don't have your crystals, you're lost then. So this is why I teach what I teach, which is to help give people abilities, use their own abilities to do the same thing, and quite often better than a crystal can do. So Christine's saying, I've been softly playing 432 megahertz, and on nice days sit outside soaking in it. And a great thing to do. Vibrational music, vibrational energy healing is a great thing. Sound healing is going to be one of the things of the future. It's already growing in strength, but sound healing is going to be one of the most powerful techniques to be able to help us to change and shift things in the future. At the moment, we still need to be getting help to let go of emotional baggage, to completely clean it up, because it's not just the emotional baggage we're hanging on to, it's other people's energy and the way we continue to do that. So we need to learn new patterns to be able to hold our space clear. All right, so what's next? So next is emotional. What can we be doing on an emotional level? A couple of questions jumped in then. So Gina, hey Gina, I haven't seen you for a while. I used orgone effects geometry patch on my phone and necklace around my neck. but still have terrible effects if I close my eyes after being on a phone for a while. See lots of flashing, etc. Yeah, look, the the thing about phones is never have it up to your ear for any more than, about 10, 15 seconds, because you can feel it doing stuff inside your brain. Um, at least have one of those manual cables, the earpiece. That's going to be the one of the best things to do. Is Kylie. That's why I love doing chakra dance for sound healing. And yeah, look, um, I've listened to the music from chakra dance, and it actually is really good, very calming, and the music for each chakra is quite powerful. So fully back that one up. And we got Anne. I work in front of a computer all day. I have 3 screens and cannot sit from behind. I get that from my desk. So how shall I deal with that? One of the best things you can do is like I said, do research on that sacred geometry symbols that can be used on the computer. It might seem farcical, just a little symbol on there, but sacred geometry is sacred geometry. Sorry, is one of the most powerful concepts that are around. It has the ability to change the frequency in that space that you're in. So that plus crystals, go down to one of the. Are you in? If you're in Adelaide, Anne, I'm not too sure where you are, but if you're in Adelaide, go down to Crystal Wave. They're probably one of the best crystal shops around, and they'll be able to hook you up with something that you can put by your computer screen that can minimize the effects of the computer on yourself. So um, Josephine saying yes, and never hold the phone while it's plugged in. Oh yeah, definitely. Never hold the phone while it's plugged into the wall. That's a big definite. All right, so back to emotional. All right, so one of the best things you can do is go and have a bath and do the full-on nurturing thing and have incense, candles, meditation music, or a meditation. Um, and uh, that having a bath is one of the most powerful things we can be doing because we have an electrical system. The bath, which is there for water, if we surround ourselves with water, we become a conductor, particularly when we start switching on spiritually. So you find your abilities actually amplify in water. It's a great place to do a meditation. Oh, g'day, Anne. Yes, you're in Adelaide. Cool. Well, yeah, definitely go down to Crystal Wave, right down the end of Grange Road. Highly recommend the guys down there. They're probably one of the best crystal shops in Adelaide. And also, there's another crystal shop down at Port Elliot. I just can't remember the name of it at the moment, but they've got a great selection down there too. So I don't know where exactly you are, but Crystal Wave's probably one of the best. So what about things like coffee and sand scrubs? I don't know what sand scrubs are. What's a sand scrub? Please inform. Um, Coffee. Yes, coffee. Dreaded coffee. At the moment, I'm still on coffee. I've chopped and changed a few times, but I've come back to coffee again. But I have the feeling that's on the way out soon. I can just feel something shaking around inside me that's saying that coffee's going to be one of those things to go. Um, and yes, it is. It is a frequency thing, and definitely, particularly, um, if you are going to have coffee, sometimes just raw coffee is good. Definitely not coffee, processed coffee, because of the additives, and definitely not the decaffeinated, because they put chemicals in there that alter the what the coffee is, and when you start heating up those chemicals, it has quite a negative effect on the body. So Myra's saying, yep, agreed. Yep, agreed. Sacred geometry, very good one of our revs, was taught that by her grandmother long before it became popular. Cool. Thanks, Kylie. So the crystal shop down at Port Elliot is called Elliot Oak. And yeah, highly recommend going down there too. So Dare's saying you were talking about taking baths. Yep, coffee scrubs are supposed to be good. Sand scrubs are particularly nice at Muwong Beach here on Gucci after a massage. Okay, well there you go. I learned something new. Love my coffees too. Boiling it reduces its level of acidity. Fair enough. And I think as long as you're not having too many, I think 3 is probably too many. You can keep it to 1 or 2 a day. Then we still gain the effects of the coffee without it burning out our adrenals. Hey, Kathy, there's a product called Blue Shield that can help reduce EMF, radio frequency, radiation, and 5G. Available through Zest Organics in Perth. There you go. Thanks very much for that, Kathy. So, full of great information. All right, just back to emotional. But yeah, our time's nearly up, but we'll try and get through all of this. So, supporting your emotional body. Nurture yourself. Look after yourself. You know, make sure you give yourself time out through a day. So, going into nature, going to the beach. Now, you'll notice that I'm doubling up. So with some of those things we've already talked about, I'm saying go to nature, go to the beach. Well, some of those things will have positive effects on all of those, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So it's really important to understand that. Get a massage, go to a float tank. I went to a float tank with my partner a few weeks ago, and it was fantastic. For an hour, you're in this bubble, and they pump music in. It's full of salt, and you just float in there. It's fantastic. Great place to meditate. Sorry. So walk in the forest. I said that. Connect with people. This is a good one. Connect with people on the same or higher vibration, higher frequency. So someone once told me years and years ago, it was actually one of my guides, if you want to grow spiritually, don't keep hanging around the people you used to hang around with that never wanted to actually grow with you, because they generally want to pull you down vibrationally because they want you back where they knew you to be, which was at a lower frequency. So then what generally happens is you want to grow, and they end up getting a bit shirty with you because you're not around them as much, and they try to pull you back in there. That's not going to help you to grow. So the idea, if you want to grow spiritually, then hang around people that are at least at the same frequency as you, but definitely hang around with people that are at a higher frequency, because you can't help but grow when you do that. Learn to love yourself. It's an incredible thing. If we want to grow, we need to learn to do that, to accept who we are, warts and all. And remember, you're a good person. If you're doing the right things by life, if you live by a set of standards, then, and they're good standards, you know, you honor that choice you're making. And for emotional, I rabbit on about this all the time, but get help to let go of any emotional baggage that you've got. Even go in just to get a checkout every now and then to see if anything's there, because a lot of that emotional baggage is suppressed, and so you don't even know it's there. All right, Natasha, blue blockers are great on glasses for in front of the computer, and changing to a different background to decrease the levels of light. I wonder how that helps with radiation from the computer. Be interesting to know. So Melinda, I struggle with this, especially with when my family are on a lower frequency. Well, Melinda, the best you can do is distance yourself a little bit more from them, but also have much better boundaries. At least, when there are family functions, you have to go, obviously, or it's your choice. Um, but one of the things we do need to do is have stronger boundaries around people that are of a lower frequency. And if they keep hounding you, if they keep at you, um, it's really important to just walk away. Um, if they won't honor your choices, then you can't do anything about that. That's their choice to have a go at you. It's your choice then as to what you do from that point on. And most of the time, you have to actually let go, move, or at least leave for a while. Um, and it's the only thing you can do. The problem is, we're brought up in this world where there seems to be two sets of standards around how people treat us. Uh, People out there in the big wide world, we have one set of rules for. We don't like them treating us badly, but we seem to allow family to do that. So I don't go along with that set of standards. So if I don't care who it is, if they treat me badly, I don't want them around me. And that's just the way it is, because that will bring you down every time. So it's important, if you want to keep your vibration up, if you want to keep growing spiritually, and you want to be able to maintain your energy, then you need to be able to move on, or at least have better boundaries and limit the amount of time you're around them. So okay, so that's emotional. Spiritual, here we go. That grounding exercise is a great one. That's going to help maintain your spiritual energy a lot better. Meditation with a purpose. Now, I talked about this a little while earlier on. When I say meditation with a purpose, one of the most powerful things you can be doing is having ongoing communication with your guides, because they can help you to grow. So that's something you can learn to develop on a spiritual level, is connect with your guides more. And it's not that hard to do. A lot of people think it is. It's actually not. It's just knowing how to. The only thing that stops us is our head, and the way we think, and the thought processes that control us. So I can help you to detour around that one, if you want any help. Daily rituals to have of gratitude for the earth, gratitude for plants, animals, all beings, and the ancestors. The Lakota culture, I've been fortunate enough to live on and off with friends that I've got over on Rosebud Indian Reservation in South Dakota in the US. And one of their daily rituals is prayer, prayer of gratitude. And not just gratitude for here I am on the earth, but gratitude for everything. Gratitude for our friends, our family, all beings, of all dimensions. There's a phrase that they use for the understanding that we're connected to everything. It's called Mitakuye Oyasin, which means energetically, our energy interacts with everything, every being on this planet. So that phrase is about honoring all of those things that we interconnect with. And I was talking to guys on the last weekend. We did level 4 shamanism practitioner course, and I was explaining to them how, if you want to get more contact on a spiritual level from other beings, from guides, galactic beings, then when you have prayer, when you do these rituals, then when you honor everything, what you're doing by just acknowledging all of those beings, the ancestors, your guides, the earth, the plant kingdom, animal, bird, insect kingdom, when you honor those beings, your energy literally reaches out to all of them. So what happens when you bother to reach out to them, then they reach back. But they're not going to reach back if you're shutting yourself off to all of those things. So what happens? Gratitude has an amazing process of making the connection between you and everything much stronger. So if you can do that on a daily basis, just have a little ritual of prayer honoring everything that you're connected to, then that has the ability to then open you up, open your awareness up to everything that is out there. And amazing things happen, I've got to tell you. So be good to people who are around you, but have better boundaries so that you don't let them take your energy. Because remember, one of the last things we need to talk about is that what that grounding exercise is about. It's about getting nice, clean energy, nice, clean life force into our system. We need life force to survive. This just that statement in itself is off the radar of most spiritual people. Without life force, we don't live. So what happens? We need to get life force in a clean way. The problem is, mostly, we've been programmed from a very early age to play energy games with people to get that life force. As we grow spiritually, we do learn more ways of getting life force in a clean way through meditation and going for walks in the forest, all of those things we've just talked about. But there is still this struggle for energy that goes on between people, where you feel when you feel your energy being drained, when you feel very like everything's just sucking in. This is something that we sometimes do to other people if we're still running that programming from our youth. So it's important to understand more about that programming. And look, if you do need to know or want to know, then I run workshops all around that stuff. So, I can give you that information. And of course, the thing then is to make sure you're doing things that will pull in life force in a clean way. So letting go, we talked about this before, letting go of people who bring you down, developing your spiritual skills, and being creative also helps you on a spiritual level too. So look, guys, thank you very much. What I'm going to do, just to finish off, I'm just going to give you a little bit of info, something I prepared earlier. So we've got one more meditation in the teepee on the 1st of June coming up here in Adelaide. I've got a rattle making workshop on the 30th of May and the 6th of June. I've also got drumming in the teepee. This is in Adelaide on June 11th, and shamanism level 1 workshop on June 12th and 13th at Infinite Flow down at Christie's Beach. And also I've got a shamanism level 1 on July 31st and August 1st at Riverdale Spiritual Centre. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. There's a whole lot more workshops, and next week I'll run you through all of the workshops I've got happening up in Queensland, and because I'll be going up there from the beginning from the beginning of July to about the 13th. So thanks very much, guys, for being a part of tonight. Great questions. It really helped to open things up, and really look forward to having a chat next week about what's going on that galactic level and what we can be actually doing to support the galactic changes within us, and also a little bit about what's happening. I have talked about this one before, but just getting into what we can be doing to support that galactic changes and the galactic opening within us. Thanks, guys. Be good, stay safe, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.